Welcome to episode 44 of the Hurricane Mike Show. In the game where it's like everything went our way, just except for the result. However, Dad, Falcon fans are being hypocrites on social media again. Because why, Dad?
Because they almost choked myself up thinking about this. They suck a lot.
Yeah, because guess what the Falcon fans are saying after their loss?
What they say?
Man, the referees screwed us. But guess what? The entire city of New Orleans has one message to them. Get over it!
Right. We don't want to hear it.
Oh, no, they screwed you out of a Sunday night week 3 game. It's not like you could have went to the Super Bowl over the game. It's not like you were one of the best teams ever. It's not like that was the case. Man, shut up. Deal with it. Put some spit on it. Man, if you don't get your dummy looking self out of here. So yeah, man, I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear that the refs screwed you. Because if you know dang well, if that was the Saints, right, they'll be saying that was not a penalty. But since it's the Falcons, it's supposed to be a flag, then shut up. Okay. Now let's get on to a real team. In fact, 2 real teams. Let's get on to that. Saints fall this past Sunday to the Eagles, 15-12. What's up, JLJ504HD? But yeah, Saints fall to the Eagles, 15-12. Saints are 2-1. Eagles 2-1. Dad, before we break down the game, what's your initial reaction?
My initial reaction is I need more headache medicine while I'm watching the Saints game. That's my initial reaction. I had a splitting headache Sunday afternoon. For some reason, I don't know. We'll get into that.
All right, but yeah. Jalen Hurts, Hurts wasn't even playing that amazing. 29 for 38, 311, 1 interception. How do you feel the Saints did against Hurts?
Not good. I mean, against Hurts, I'm not worried about it. I'm talking about against the tight ends. If they can just cover some tight ends, we win this game.
Don't worry, we'll get to that.
We comfortably win this game.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But let's talk about the Saints' father. Let's talk about him. Saquon Barkley. Dad, does this not remind you of another game that pissed a lot of us off a couple years ago? Does this not remind you of one game I'm talking about?
Do they have like a NY on the helmets?
Back in 2021, remember that game?
Yeah.
Where Saquon Barkley, he wasn't the best running back, but he still, but he got the game-winning touchdown on us. Do we have to start calling him daddy at this point? And I'm not trying to say that in a weird way.
He's our daddy.
Saquon, 17 carries. He did this under 20 carries, by the way. 17 carries, 147 yards. I don't even think that's even real. 2 touchdowns. And one of them was the game winner. Hurts is 8 for 25. Good God Almighty. Help me. You should not be letting number 26 get almost 150 yards. Whatever. Dallas freaking Goddard. Apparently, just because his first name is Dallas does not mean we're going to whoop him like we did the Cowboys. As Dallas Goddard was 10 for 1 goddamn 70. 3rd and 16. 3rd and 16, Dad. You remember 3rd and 16? You remember?
16, where you wouldn't think a tight end would run past your secondary. But
I'm convinced we didn't even have a secondary on that play because I didn't see nobody. Why was DeMario not covering Dallas Goddard? Instead, we got freaking Tyrann Mathieu, the shortest one on the field. He was the one guarding Tyrann Mathieu. Because I remember people were like, no, it was Will Harris. Nah, man, I saw number 32. I saw number 32 chasing the dude. If we look at the height difference, because in the NFL, size does be mattering. If we look at Matthew's height, Tyrann Mathieu is 5'9". Now, if we look at Dallas Goddard, he's 6'5". What's up, Jerry?
What's up, Jerry?
We should not have a 5'9" guy. It's Hay Week. Yes, it is Hay Week. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But we should not have a 5'9" guy. I know he's a great player. We should not have a 5'9" dude on a 6'5" guy. 5'10", 5'11", 6'1", 6'2". 6... Bro, that's an 8-inch height differential.
Mikey.
Yeah?
Keep him talking. I'll be right back.
All right. But that's going to be right back. But yeah, man, Tyrann Mathieu did a poor job on Dallas Goddard. But what do you expect? Just upload a short video? I bet. You know, I started my Atlanta Falcons Hate Weeks 7-day series. So I uploaded the first part last night during the Monday night game. So I'm planning on doing my second part after this. But I'm not doing them like part 1, part 2. No, it's day 1, day 2. It's a daily series. I do twice a year. Well, technically 14 times a year. Do the math. Devontae Smith. Side-eye bet you. Devontae freaking Smith was 7 for 79. I mean, what do you, bro? The Saints clogged the Devontae Smith though. Oh man, I hope he gets better. Paris Campbell was 2 for 13. Kenneth Gainwell 2 for 12. Bryn Covey 1 for 11. Saquon Barkley 4 for 9. So we were able to stop him in the pass game. Johnny Wilson was 1 for 9, but that play did make a difference. I remember watching that play. Freaking Johnny Wilson on like what was it, like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, bro. Like one of our defenders, I think it was either Matthew or Will Harris, just completely whiffed and just missed the tackle, which allowed him to pick up a first round 3rd down. Those plays be mattering. Jahan Dotson was also 2 for 8, so he did something. So overall, hey Connor, how you doing? So Dad, what was the main thing? Okay, this is our main thing segment. What was the main thing?
The main thing in this game Sunday afternoon was missed opportunities. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the turnovers that the Eagles had. I'm talking about the block punt. I'm talking about all the penalties. I'm talking about good field position. We couldn't turn it into points. That is my main thing this week, Mikey. That's the main thing.
All right, Connor says Falcon. Sorry, I was rushing to put the title up, so it was auto. It was on the auto thing. So my bad, Connor. After the stream, I'll fix it. My main thing for this game, yes, missed opportunities, but my main thing is stop the run. You gotta stop the run. Because, like, Saquon Barkley got almost 150 yards on us, and he didn't even get 20 carries. Kamara, I think it took him 20 carries just to get over 100 yards last week. Saints play the fail context week. That they do. So the main thing for me was just to stop the run. If you stop the run, you win this game. If you control the run. But let's get into our second segment. What Saints player or Eagles player makes you want to cry in the middle of the streets? Which player?
I don't like crying, but I am a sentimental guy. All right. So what makes me want to cry in the middle of the street happens to be the end of an era. The end of an era, my boy, number 94, Cam Jordan. Now, remember, we were watching the game together, Mikey, and I kept saying, why is Cam Jordan standing over there with Dennis Allen? Well, he should be on the field. Don't he, like, never miss snaps? So, he was over there half the game. So I'm, like, wondering, is this guy injured or whatever? But come to find out today, Dennis Allen actually said some truth. You believe that? Dennis Allen got to the podium and said that he was over there standing by Dennis Allen because of lack of production. Oh, so I mean that's a good sign, right? Coaches making decisions on production or who's not producing or who is producing. So so that's what makes me want to cry in the middle of the street. Like Cam Jordan's career in New Orleans is coming to an end.
Can you please clear this up while I empty the trash can? The player that makes me want to cry in the middle of the street, Dad. Where do I even freaking begin with this? The player that makes me want to cry in the middle of the street. Let's see. Who are even the options at this point? You know what makes me want to cry in the middle of the street? It's it was the this kind of goes along with my stopping the run segment. Everybody on the no, my fault. I just remembered. What makes me want to cry in the middle of the street is the breaking news I received earlier today. If y'all didn't see, All Pro center Eric McCoy, he's gonna be out for at least half the season, 6 to 8 weeks. But I'm sorry, that makes me want to cry every single time I hear the news. Because we saw on Sunday, the first drive, yeah, it was only a couple plays, but I wasn't seeing Carr panic. But ever since McCoy got hurt, Jalen Carter was all in there. He was all in there, man. You got freaking safeties coming up, sacking quarterbacks. Man, it hurt McCoy, bro. That breaking news is what makes me want to cry in the middle of the street. That's just me, though.
Yes, sir. They're going to have to trade for somebody because they do not have an answer on this roster. We saw that for 3 quarters Sunday afternoon, Mikey. We saw that. I don't know if there's a guy sitting on his couch right now that's better than what we have. I doubt it. So we're probably going to have to trade for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be out for that long, but I mean, so let's see what type of pass rushers we're playing for these next 6 to 8 weeks. Let's pull up the schedule. Let's see what we're playing. So we're playing the Falcons. I mean, they don't really have any pass rushers that really scare me. Like Judon, he's cool, but I don't really see him make any plays. Going up against Chris Jones, that's going to be a battle. So that's 2 weeks. Third week is against, I don't know if Vita Vea is playing. I thought he got hurt, so I don't know who we're playing in Tampa Bay. Wishing McCoy's full speedy recovery. Yeah. Him and my mental health, I'm wishing a speedy recovery. They're playing against Denver. I don't know who's on their pass rush. Going up against the Chargers, they got Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, so we're going to definitely have not a nice day there. Carolina, that should be a breeze. So that's 6 right there. So if he's out the full 8 weeks, Falcons again, like I said, I don't know anybody. And then they got Myles Garrett, which he might be playing on the end, but they might put him in the middle. Who knows? I don't know. Let's talk about the Eagles' defense now, and what they did to the Saints. Zach Bond, former Saint, 9 tackles, 4 assists. Zach Bond was making plays. We should have paid him. But one guy, I'm not glad to say his name, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, 5 tackles, 2 assists. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, if you're listening to this, all respect I once had for you, It's gone. Okay? It's gone. And it's not just because you're a good player. It's not because you played well. When you were in the Super Bowl against the Eagles or against the Chiefs, I was rooting for the Eagles because I wanted you to get a ring. But all respect is gone because of what you said. Look, I'm all for trash talk, but don't trash talk when you win. I know that's the appropriate time, but if all you do is trash talk when you win, it kind of makes you look punkish. Because the most you said going into the game was, I'm playing. I mean, okay, but that's not really trash talk. I like trash talks. That's why my respect's gone for you. You were only talking trash when you won, and that's my problem. You don't trash talk just because you win.
He
So,
wasn't.
Dad, what's your take on C.J. Gardner-Johnson and his trash talking?
He wasn't trash talking Monday night, was he?
Uh-huh.
When it was losing to the Falcons.
Please put those pants in the washing machine, not the hamper, in the machine. Because if it goes in the hamper, Miss Molly's not going to grab it.
All right, what?
Timeout. Illegal talking to the mother. Illegal.
Yeah.
Throw the flag on him. Come on, challenge that. All right. Where were we? Trash talk. Yeah, he wasn't trash talking after Monday night when the Falcons ran all over him. I mean, I didn't hear no trash talk nowhere.
Yeah.
So, I don't care if someone trash talk. They could trash talk. I mean, it just looks like it looks silly because yeah, you won. You're not gonna trash talk when you lose, but blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm not saying trash talk when you lose, but like at least be there to eat your words, right? C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the Atlanta game was like, "Woo!" But I didn't see him trash talking the Falcons. Like,
I ain't see him trash talking Falcons, but he was doing some singing this weekend against New Orleans. He was singing, he was playing music, he was like playing on that piano back there. He was doing all that. But it's
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, enough on him. Kobe Dean, 3 tackles, 5 assists. Don't even know who that guy is. Well, I know who he is. I just haven't heard his name in a year. Quinyon Mitchell, the Eagles' first round pick, didn't really like. He was solid. 3 tackles, 1 assist. Jalen Carter, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Another guy that I also lost respect for. I don't know if I published the video, but I believe I made a video. It might be on YouTube somewhere. But I made a video saying my favorite player on every single team, and I picked Jalen Carter for the Eagles. Nope, because once again, he was trash. Look, I don't hate them because they're trash talking. I hate them when they're trash talking because it's excessive. Sometimes it's excessive. Okay, because like the thing is, you can be like, "Oh yeah, I told you we were gonna win." Like that's okay. But when you freaking do all of this, like hands down or whatever, and then you start running after our guys because you ran off the sideline trying to chase. Was it Derek Carr or somebody? He was trying to chase somebody. Like you don't do that. Okay, you don't do that. That's my issue. I understand you were in the center because we had no center.
You know what some of that's about, Mikey? And I'm a rail on us for a minute here. I'm a rail on
You're railing who?
Because I mean, we pulverized the Panthers and the Cowboys, and now we're reading these press clippings. Everybody's telling us how great we are. We're the greatest show on turf, and patting us on the back, and we doing hee in the end zone and dancing and holding these press conferences talking about that's how I got my wife because I could dance. This is bulletin board material. This is what they talk about when you should be humble. You should tip your cap, like we're talking about Garner Johnson today. Just tip your cap and move the freak on. Now, whoever he's playing next week is gonna try to embarrass him because he talked too much. So, Saints fans, keep that same energy. That's all I'm saying.
I hope we play the Eagles in January. Jordan Davis, 2 tackles, 2 assists, and a sack. I mean, he did okay. Reed Blankenship got 2 tackles and an interception, which happened to be the game sealer. Milton Williams, 2 tackles, and Nolan Smith Jr. 1-1. Josh Sweat 1-1. Brandon Graham 1-1. Darius Slade Jr. 1-1. Can we just agree that Darius Slade Jr. is one of the most overrated corners in the NFL? Can we agree?
Yeah, he sucks. He's not that good.
Like, bro, that boy got cooked by freaking Drake London last week. And look, the Saints receivers, I think, yeah, it was Olave. Olave was cooking, he cooked CJ, but he also was cooking Darius Slade. So I don't want to hear Darius Slade's mouth, man. Like, people are acting like this boy's a top 5 corner in the game. Man, the boy ain't even top 15, in my opinion. I don't even know if he's top 20. So I don't ever hear his name. He had that one moment of shine when he was cooking Justin Jefferson. But other than that, and to be honest, Kirk Cousins just freaking sucked that one night a couple years ago. But ever since then, Darius Slade just keeps thinking this is one of these best corners. Vontae Maddox, 1 tackle. Keely Ringo, 1 tackle, and that's it. For kick returns, they had Kenneth Gainwell, 2 for 51. Will Shipley, 1 for 26. And punt returns, they had one of the only white corners in the NFL, Cooper DeJean, getting 1 for 6. Jake Elliott was 0 for 1 on a field goal. And it was a 60-yard attempt, but he missed it. Did score 1 point on an extra point. And this game wasn't the Superdome, which makes it even more depressing, as Brandon Mann only had 1 punt for 43 yards. Well, that's actually not true. He actually had a second punt that got blocked. And we still couldn't score. Now let's move on to the Saints side. Derek Carr, 14 for 25, 142, and a touchdown and a pick. Dad, how do you feel about Derek Carr Sunday?
Derek Carr definitely had better games. He was out of sync. You can kind of say, if you want to blame that on the loss of McCoy, because it is true. I mean, McCoy, the center, is the quarterback of the offensive line. And first drive, they go down the field, they kick the field goal. After that, McCoy gets hurt. The offensive line struggles. Derek Carr struggles. And, so it wasn't his better game.
Yeah, man, it just hurts me inside knowing that we could have won this game. Kamara, 26 carries, 87 yards. I mean, he did, I don't know. Derek Carr, 2 for 3. Jamal Williams went back to the old Jamal Williams on 1 carry for -1 yards. Receiving wise, Chris Olave had a good game. 6 for 86 and a touchdown. Kamara was 3 for 40. Tipton, 2 for 11. Cedric Wilson Jr. was 1 for 3. Foster Moreau, 1 for 2. Jamal Williams, 1. Shaheed did not catch a ball. So these 7 receivers, Dad, how did you feel about them on Sunday?
Got to get Rashid the ball. Kamara tried his best that he could. But, the whole offense was out of sync. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. We had no business losing that game. I don't know why the offense was so out of sync.
Yeah, some people, man, they forgot that he could have had a touchdown, but he dropped the ball. Adebo had 10 tackles. Look, the Saints defense is not the reason why we lost. I'm telling you. It's not the reason why we lost.
Other than 2 or 3 plays, we couldn't cover a tight end. Other than that, the rest of the game was almost perfect.
Yeah. Dad, can you tell me the last time you saw a team get 2 4th-down stops? Both are in the red zone, by the way. An interception, a fumble, a strip sack fumble, matter of fact, a blocked punt, they missed a field goal, and you can only get 12 points off of it. Well, you only really got 9 points off of that. So, Dad, when was the last time you ever saw that with your own 2 eyes?
It has never happened in the history of pigskin. Not never. You know how some people say never? Well, I'm saying never. It never happened.
Yeah. Tyrann Mathieu, man, 7 tackles, and he got the interception that was in the end zone. If only we could have capitalized. You know what? That's the word of the day. The word of the day is capitalize. Because the Eagles gave us this game. We should have won. And we can't blame the referees, because if I look, the Saints only had like 2 penalties. Hold on, let me look at team side. We're going to get to them. But yeah, the Saints only had 3 penalties and the Eagles got 7. So who are we supposed to blame? Ourselves. On Dennis Allen's birthday.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I knew that. Well, I didn't know that till somebody told me. Will Harris, six tackles. DeMario had an okay game, 4 tackles, 2 assists. Carl Granderson was probably the best player on that defensive line on Sunday, getting 4 tackles, 1 assist, 1.5 sacks, plus a strip sack fumble. P. Warner, 3 tackles, 2 assists. Willie Gay Jr. got 3 tackles. Alontae Taylor, another great game. 2 tackles, 2 assists, and half a sack. I thought they counted as a full sack, but I guess not. All right, Nathan Shepard had 2 tackles and 2 sacks. Brian Brees, 1 tackle, 3 assists. Nathan Shepard had 2 tackles, 1 assist. Brian Brees had 2 tackles, 2 sacks. Chase Young, 1 tackle, 3 assists. Marshawn Lattimore was locked down once again, getting 1 tackle, 1 assist. Jordan Howden with 1 tackle, and John Ridgway III got 1 assist. So let's even count the sack total. That the Saints got 4 sacks, so you can add that to the agenda. Rashid Shaheed, the only time he touched the ball was on a punt return where he didn't gain a single yard. Blake Grupe, though, still played. Blake Grupe's definitely had a turnaround of a season. He was 2 for 2, 100%, longest 38-yarder, and scored 6 points. And Matthew Hayball punted the ball 4 times for 162 yards and 2 inside the 20. Now we go to team stats. Saints, 219 total yards. When you allow the other offense to get 460 yards. That's really why that's another reason why we lost. Saints got 130 passing yards. Eagles got 268. Saints 89 rushing yards. Eagles 172. Saints 4 yards per play. Eagles 6.9. Saints got 12 first downs to the Eagles 20. Saints were 6 of 13 on third downs. The Eagles were 6 for 14. The Saints were 0 for 1 on 4 downs, but the Eagles were 1 for 3. Got 2 stops. Saints ran 55 total plays. The Eagles ran 67. Saints only allowed 1 sack, but that might be cool and all, but we kept allowing all these pressures and stuff and throwaways. Like, if pressures counted as sacks, there would probably be 10 sacks. Eagles allowed 4 sacks. Saints won the ball 4 times. Eagles 2 times. Eagles got 7 penalties for 45 yards. Saints 3 penalties for 25 yards. The Eagles lost the fumble. We both threw interceptions. And the Eagles had the ball for 32 minutes and 15 seconds compared to the Saints 27 minutes, 45 seconds. The Saints did not win a single stat that I'm looking at.
Turnovers.
The only thing that was good was penalties.
And turnovers.
Yeah, well, that was like the only stat the Saints won. That's unacceptable. So, what are your final thoughts of and top takeaways from a gutsy Eagles road win over the Saints? What was your thought from the opposing team and how they beat us?
My thoughts is, like I've been saying today, and I've said for the last 2 days, that we didn't have no business losing that game. It's like the Eagles kept saying, "Here, please win this game." They kept giving us opportunities after opportunities after opportunities, and we didn't take advantage of hardly any of them. So we need to go back to the drawing board, see why this happened, and coaches need to, Gary, Kubiak, what happened. I mean, you called a perfect game in Dallas, and now things wasn't executed. So what happened?
Yeah. Dad, do you still stand by the words that you personally told me after the game?
I can't remember what I told you.
You told me that this is the dumbest effing organization you've ever seen in your life. Do you still stand by that after this game?
No. You have to understand, I was very emotional. So maybe I need to not be so invested in some of this stuff, but
Not
we're
being
not the
invested.
dumbest. Atlanta's the dumbest.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, the Falcons, after watching Sunday night, they're definitely dumber than the Saints. Who do you feel like was the worst player on the Eagles' offense that the Saints were able to contain?
I guess Devontae Smith going out with an injury, couldn't finish the game. Maybe that would be my thought.
Yeah. Joshua, the Bucks fan Logan said hello. Hello, Joshua.
What's up, Big Josh?
Yeah, but like I said, man, the worst player was probably Jahan Dotson. But Dad, give me 3 overreactions to the Saints losing this game. What are 3 overreactions? Don't just tell me Derek Carr didn't play good. Give me 3 overreactions because I want to get controversial today.
An overreaction would be, okay, now we need Rattler in the game. That would be an overreaction. Another overreaction would be, the Saints ain't gonna make the playoffs now. Calm down. We still first in the division. We're gonna be all right if we correct some of this stuff. And another overreaction would be, I don't know. That's all I got. Just 2 of them.
Well, let me overreact for a second, okay? If the Saints keep playing like this, they are not winning the division. If the Saints keep playing like this, and this is actually kind of weird, this is an overreaction. If the Saints keep playing like this and the Panthers keep playing like the Andy Dalton Panthers, we might not even finish above Carolina.
Hey, Mike, you know what's not an overreaction?
What?
Taysom Hill means a lot to this offense.
That is true. My last overreaction is Derek Carr just can't finish in the clutch, and I don't really know if that's an overreaction, but I don't know. Like, for a guy with so many fourth quarter comebacks, you'd think he would be able to clutch one out. But yeah. If you could talk to not Pete Carmichael, sorry, my fault. This game just felt like a Pete Carmichael called game. If Clint Kubiak was in your room right now and was like, yo, give me some advice, what would you tell Mr. Clint?
I would tell him to stay with what he's doing. I think I like the game plan and everything, and execution was off. Maybe that's because he lost his center. Maybe not. Just figure that out. Clint, just stay in the office all night tonight and figure that out.
Yeah, I would just tell him, get Rashid Shaheed the damn ball.
They tried.
Yeah.
He dropped that one. Or it was a contested catch, maybe. I don't know. But execution was a little off there, too. But he almost had one.
Yeah. So Dennis Allen was talking about the game. In fact, let me see if I can pull up what he said. Dennis Allen, let's see. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can pull up what Dennis Allen said after the game. All right, let's see if I can find what he said. I don't think I can really find it. But what Dennis Allen was basically doing, he was just saying he was basically positive despite the loss. Do you think you should be positive after losing this game?
I think you have to remain positive. You do. It's hard, but we are 2-1, so there's some positive things. We'll just see how it goes this week against the Falcons.
Yep. And also, Dad, was I not positive even when we were struggling?
You were pretty positive to a fault. You can't be that positive. You got to hold these people accountable eventually. You just gotta keep that same energy, boy. Keep the same energy.
Yep. And next, let's see. And the next thing that he was saying was 4th and 1. We didn't even get to that yet. Good God, Christ Almighty! 4th and 1 for the Saints, and you run the ball. Look, you might be like, "Woo," but look, bro, it's 4th and 1. You ran the ball, I believe, on 3rd down, so they probably expect you to run the ball again. Why do you not do like a crossing out to Olave or Shaheed?
Man, I have no problem with running the ball on 4th and 1. It's just you got beat. I mean, you didn't have your center in there. We're gonna keep going back to that, I guess. But it's a man has to move another man. I mean, you got to dig down deep and get it done. We just got beat on that play.
Yeah. But do you think the Saints were playing dirty? Because that's what C.J. Gardner-Johnson said. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely not. He's talking about the hit on the receiver. That was a clean hit. Play was still going on. Nobody hit nobody's helmet. Nobody hit nobody's late. That's just Garner Johnson just talking trash like he does. I mean, that's the best thing he does is talk. So let's leave him talk.
Yeah, look, I do think there should have been a flag thrown, but it's not because it was a dirty hit. It was because forward progress was already marked and it was a late hit. But at the end of the day, everybody does that. Okay? So if you're gonna call the Saints dirty, plus CJ Gardner Johnson, you did that a couple times as well. You did that a couple times. So don't act like you're all goody two shoes and you've never done that hit again, ever. But yeah. But Dad, hold on. All right. Dad, do you think the Saints will be able to defeat the Falcons on Sunday?
Is the Pope Catholic?
I think.
Yes. The answer is yes, boy. We are going to beat the Falcons, and it's not even going to be close. I forgot we didn't do the Pick'em show yet, but I don't know what score I'm going to give it yet, but I think we're going to win this one comfortably.
I think it's going to be a defensive battle, but I still got the Saints pulling it out. Because I'm not going to say we're going to blow out the Falcons as much as I want to because they're a division rival. I mean, we did blow them out in Week 18, but it took us for us to have an amazing second half that we did to blow them out. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I do think it's going to be a defensive battle, but I do have the Saints winning that game. But now let's get on to this. All right. So the Saints get their first loss of the season. If you're just joining the show, Saints lose 15-12 in the nail biter at the end. Do you think the Saints should be 3-0 on their way to Atlanta?
Absolutely. This was a very winnable game. Like I said, the Eagles kept trying to give us this game, but we just didn't take it. At home at that. So
just freaking sucks, man. So that after watching this game, who do you think took a massive loss?
What do you mean?
Like what? Like where did the Saints lose this game at? I'm gonna say the O-line just because I think that's the correct answer. Where do you think the Saints lost the game at?
Up front. I mean, I'm gonna say both lines. Offense, offensive line and defensive line. I mean, Barkley was running like he was 22 years old again. I mean, couldn't stop the run, couldn't affect the passer that much. So both sides of the line got beat.
Yeah. All right. So Devontae Smith the Eagles player C.J. Gardner-Johnson apparently said that's the dirtiest hit I've ever seen in football.
That is not the dirtiest hit he's ever seen.
Did you ever see?
That's a lie.
Did you ever see Levonta's perfect hit on Antonio Brown? Now that is probably up there for the dirtiest hit. But even that, like, bruh, like, you see, because there's a difference from that hit and this hit. You see, the play we already knew was going to end. But, like, the dude, to be fair, was still running. Jerry also said we're going to beat the Falcons. The dude was still running with the ball. So Devontae Smith, instead of just going down when he saw that he was not going to, like, that's his own fault. Look, I'm not trying to say it's his fault that he got hurt, but he should have just went down. But who do you think was the worst player on the Eagles' defense that the Saints were able to take advantage of?
It's hard to say right now because I don't remember a whole lot of good offensive plays being run together. No good drives. So,
but you would think that the player that gave up the game-leading touchdown to Chris Olave would actually shut his mouth. So, yeah, that's my answer. It was definitely C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But, yeah. Why do you think Dallas Goedert had the game of his life? What type of steroids was this man on?
He was just on a defense that does not cover tight end very well. And the Eagles coaching staff knew that, and they put in a good game plan to get their tight end singled up on a 5-9 safety, or they ran this concept one time where they had two guys bump into each other, and then he was wide, the freak open. So, it was a coaching thing more than anything else.
Yeah, I just think that boy, it was because he had 5'9" midget on him. Look, no offense to all the midgets out there, but look, I am taller than Tyrann Mathieu. That's a problem. So, to those of you that don't watch football but just watch the show just because, let's say y'all watch basketball. Let me put this in basketball terms. This was to say if you had Chris Paul guard Shaquille O'Neal. That's what this is. A dominant player that if he has the height advantage, he will take advantage of. And that's what Dallas Goedert did. That's like it.
A tisket, a tasket, I ripped down the basket.
Yeah, that's like if Chris Paul was freaking guarding Shaquille O'Neal. Like, yeah, not only is it stupid, but it's clinically insane, especially how hard Shaq be dunking. But yeah, like the O-line was just horrible. But how do you think the Saints' new offense can rebound after this game, especially losing someone like Eric McCoy?
Got to get back to running the ball. I mean, we ran it beautifully in Dallas. Got to get back to that and doing some play action and getting Shaheed on some mismatches.
Yep. Yeah, man, the Saints offense just needs to wake up, okay? That's just plain and simple. Shaheed needs to get more involved in the offense. Chris Olave needs to keep doing what he was doing for the past couple of weeks. So just keep doing that, and I think we'll be fine. All right. The Eagles obviously won a wild one in New Orleans. Recapping the game here. But you mentioned Cam Jordan earlier. Do you know how much snaps he played yesterday or Sunday?
I read it. I forgot it. Not much.
He played 20 snaps, okay? And Dennis Allen did say it boils down to effectiveness. So how do you think Cam Jordan should take this? Do you think he should be offended, or do you think he should be in the weight room? or the film room or whatever.
He should be, trying to get better. Trying to, these guys they're bringing in, they're younger and faster than he is. I mean, it might be time for Cam to hang it up. So I won't be shocked to see sometime during the season if they either cut Cam or Cam retire or slip into a little coaching job or something. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think Cam Jordan would be an amazing defensive line coach. That's just me though. But yeah, Eagles obviously had 2 stars get hurt with Darius Slay and Devontae Smith. I'm not gonna lie, both of those players weren't really doing nothing. So, but yeah, the defense led the way as the Birds escaped with the win. How do you feel like the Saints should take the Falcons' defense?
I think I shouldn't worry about the Falcons' defense. Just concentrate on us executing our plays and just running down their throat. Woo!
Yes, sir. And hey, the Saints took advantage of the bad teams. Speaking of bad teams, Dad, you remember who you had going to the Super Bowl in the NFC, right?
Yeah.
What if I was to tell you that in the standings, you're currently the second worst NFC team?
I believe it.
And you remember you had the Bengals winning the whole thing, right?
I can't take none of that back.
You can't take nothing of what back?
I can't take these teams back. I made these picks. I'm riding with them.
But you remember what happened to the Bengals, right?
Yeah, they 0-3.
Yeah, so. But hey, if it makes you feel better, I picked the stupid Raiders and the Saints to be in the Super Bowl. So hey, we'll both be stupid, okay? All right. But now give me your good, bad, and ugly after the Saints loss. Who do you think was good? Who do you think was bad? And who do you think was absolutely freaking atrocious?
Good. Who was good? I think Tyrann Mathieu was good, other than he can't cover a tight end. But I think picking that ball off in the end zone, keeping the Eagles off the board going into halftime, that was good. Bad. I have to go with this offensive line. I mean, they were getting beat. They were, letting Carr get under pressure. That was pretty bad. And ugly, just the fact that we had all these opportunities to win this game, and we didn't win the game. We stayed with a 3-0 lead forever, and I was like, we have to start scoring some points. But it never happened. We scored a few more points, but not enough.
Yeah, the good for me was definitely the defense, other than Saquon and Goddard, whoever was guarding them in the moments that they were going off. Other than that, I like Carl Granderson. I think he was good. The bad was definitely our offense. Okay, our offense is pretty bad. Other than a lot of Kamara did okay, but other than that, the offense is pretty bad. The ugly, O-line and execution. Those 2 things were ugly. But yeah, how do you think the Eagles slowed down the New Orleans rushing attack, and why it shouldn't happen again if we play against Atlanta?
He was able to dominate offensive and defensive lines. I think that's what it comes down to. The game's made in the trenches these days, and we lost those battles Sunday.
Yeah. Look, the Eagles when running backs usually run behind centers most of the time if they're running it in the inside. So when you don't have a center and your guard moves to center, you can't run the football. So that's why we couldn't run the football. You got 86 yards and almost 20 Ks. We can't. You just couldn't run the football. Maybe if we had Taysom, maybe that would have been different. But we just couldn't run the football. But that Falcons though did beat this team Monday night when Cousins went down the field. But that's not happening on Sunday, right, Dad?
That's right.
Yeah. But Dad, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find a little video and see how much Falcon fans are crying after the flag. Hold on. I just want to see if that's even a thing right now. Let's see. I want to see. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Hold on. Let me take this out. Oh, wait, hold on. It's over here. All right. Well.
Drake London is going to get the Falcons into a goal-to-go scenario with 6 minutes left. And on that third down, when they were taking shots at the end zone, Kyle Pitts, this was ruled incomplete, but it looked like he was completely wrapped up. So a very controversial missed pass interference call. And I know that you can say that maybe the Falcons got a makeup call. There was a pass interference and a horse collar on the drive following, but still, this was their best chance to score. Drake London is going to get...
Oh.
Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. They're going to know. His back turn. And Pitts going right back throw, trying to catch the ball. Contact well before.
Aww.
That should have been a penalty. And Falcons ball. Nobody's going to. 4th and inches.
All right. Heard the Saints are working out some new guys in the offensive line from McCoy injury. They better.
We need Kyle Pitts over 3.5.
Okay.
Falcons, man, what you doing? Y'all won. Thought it was going to be a new Falcon. We still the old Falcons out here struggling. I got to get a better offensive coordinator, man. Y'all some better plays to do something. Falcons, man, what you doing? Y'all won.
Dad, you remember who the Falcons picked up, right?
Who's that?
As their OC, they picked up Zach freaking Robinson. Oh, and the Saints actually interviewed him. Falcon fans already want him fired. Ain't that funny?
Yep.
Sucks. I could have had Clint. You could have. But why was I about the OC? Raheem Morris and Kirk Cousins are just both trash. Like, people are going to look at the Kirk Cousins game and they're going to be like, he didn't play that bad. Nah, man, there were some throws. It's like, what are you doing? Like, Kirk Cousins is trash. Can we all agree? Kirk Cousins, honestly, I'll take Andy Dalton before I take Kirk Cousins. I would take Baker. I would take Carr. I would take Jesus. I would take anybody. Okay, so anyways, Dad, but that's all we got for this show. So, Dad, tell them when our next show will be, man.
We're going to do a Pick'em Show Friday, so tune in. And if you want to know who's going to win this week, tune in to our show.
Yeah, in fact, I actually got the stuff over here of our records. Last week, Dad, you went 5-10, 26-25 overall, and I went 4-11, 20-29 overall.
We had a bad week, bro.
Yes, we did. Bro, and the only reason I even got 4 is because of the Chiefs and then the 2 Monday night games last night. Man, oh man.
You finished strong. That's what's important.
Yeah, so. All right, Dad. So tell them where they can find you, man.
Find me on Warren Newby YouTube page, on the Hurricane Mike Show every week, a couple times a week. Check us out.
If you always time you hear Hurricane Mike, who that, and Dad, especially this week, don't be a what?
A Falcon fan.
Don't be them fans, man. They ain't ugly.